That's a gas distillate.
Gas.
And I think 7 men died in this.
Oh, good.
And we were 7 weeks on it. And in our work, nobody got hurt. It was
Now you have helicopters
19
coming.
wells on.
Yeah.
See, the copters fly around the Gulf. It's calm here, but you'll notice you have a lot of ground fire, and this is one thing you really don't want. But see how it burns on the water?
Right.
And
Are those men up there on some kind of a rig?
oh, we climbed all over that thing. We stripped everything off of it, and we shot the fires out in different tree off and capped each one of them. They drilled directional wells into 3 of them, and we capped 15 of them.
It's incredible.
It was quite a fire. It's the first big offshore fire we've ever had. And those rigs in the background are the one drilling for directional wells. There's the main one. That's a quadruple well there. That's the one that started it. And
those could go for weeks, can't they, before you can get them under control?
that could have burned, I guess, 50 years for it to deplete. And it just shows you what you get into it. There's a picture of the equipment we have to use, and it's a little behind time. Now we need a big semi-submersible to work with.
Right. That's wild. That is absolutely incredible. Somebody said you had a particular new piece of equipment out that you came up with that you used in the North Sea?
Yeah, we're building a semi-submersible that costs $50 million, and we want a 5-year payout if we can get it. But this thing will be able to work on these platforms. You cut your fire down, blow it down, in all about a third of the time.
Right. Have you ever had any personal close escapes yourself in this over your lifetime?
The closest I had was here in California in 1953 for over at the Hollywood racetrack. Not racing, I mean on a job.
Could have been either one.
The crane boomed around and caught me and crushed my pelvis, hips, and ripped me up the back. Said I wouldn't live, but I did. Then they said that I wouldn't walk, but 4 months later I got working again.
That's the one major thing that's happened to you.
That's the
But on these type of fire things, so
No,
far?
I've never been fire on one of those. I don't believe you'd get out of it.
But we got another little, all right, we got another piece of film coming up here. We'll take a look at the monitor, see what this is.
This is loading a charge. Oh, that job's in Libya. And, no, it's in Gutter. That's a little town. That well was deliberately blown up with saboteurs. And this first charge we put in here is to shoot a tee off of it to open the well up.
Right.
So they thought the bottom match valve would be open, all the oil and gas would go up.
What do you use, TNT or nitroglycerin or?
That was geopack. We learned to use any kind of explosive we can get to make it work. And here you wrap it with asbestos to protect it, and you have asbestos inside.
Now you have to go drop that into the...
It has to be placed exactly where you want it. And we made a dry run each time, and you would time it, and you put a thermometer and see how hot it gets, because those caps go off at, I think, about 150 degrees.
Right.
So we would get in there and get it out before it went off. I think those are tracks we used to back it in with a bulldozer. Now we'll shoot the top of the tree off here. I'm pretty sure this is it. Now,
You're going to go in and put that charge right on top of that.
right in there, up against it. They said there it'll go off in just a second. These are all set off electric in the way you want them.
After the water's to keep the temperature down so it doesn't prematurely...
That's right. You got to keep it cool.
Right.
That's, there it should come straight up. There she comes. And that little piece went out to the left after the valve. You learn to use explosive, you almost tip your hat with it.
So you opened up that, the clogged...
That first shot, we shot the tee off. The next shot, they probably won't show it. It's so shooting the whole tree off of it. And that's cleaned it out so we could get in there and work on it.
That's fascinating. That is
Now
incredible.
we're making 50,000 barrels a day.
That's incredible. Do we have another one also? This is, what's the most expensive job? I don't want to get into your personal finances, but the most expensive job you've ever had to handle?
Well, we had one over in Dubai. I think last year it went on for 7 months. And just the cost of the equipment, not counting the drilling rig loss and the oil, was $80 million.
$80 million just to control this?
Just to control it.
That is absolutely incredible. I had no idea the figures.
Well, this is one thing a lot of people don't understand. Is the oil company get after them a lot, but they don't realize the money they spend on safety equipment to keep these wells from blowing out. And they say about 21,000 wells drilled in the Gulf of Mexico with only about 6 major blowouts.
And as you said, all in all, with the tremendous amount you have, the percentage of major accidents is relatively small.
It's small, very small.
But as long as the human factor comes into it, obviously there are going to be tragedies of any kind in any business.
Well, that's true.
No matter what it is, I suppose.
Like you have an automobile wreck, you can't get mad at the automobile people.
Right. Okay, here's another little piece of film. Let's see what this is.
Now this is 5 wells in Libya. They were deliberately blown up, and that's Kootenai, and it's the first well trying to get into the tubing, and we have to get a plug in it. We have to take this plug out of it.
Are you in that?
Yeah, that's me up there with Coots. Kootenai, so we're trying to...
You're nuts, Red. I don't know how to tell you this. Nothing personal, but...
Yeah, see, we're trying to get it open, and there's Coots eyeballing it while we pull on it.
Right.
And it gets a little warm in there.
Yeah.
And then it comes off, then we get in there and we get it opened up, and believe it or not, we killed that thing with a stinger while it was burning. And there we go, after we pulled it off, walking up into it. But we put this little braided metal up so we could walk out on the wellhead and look at it.
Right.
There we are, that's me with that asbestos thing on. The fire kind of got in your face a little, but they were driving that plug out. And it opened up there a few minutes later.
Oh, that could blow up at any time.
It could blow up. Anything could blow up. That's blowing out of that well, that's another 50,000 barrel well.
I think I know why. You're probably one of the few companies that does that. That's not the job an average guy would say, hey, I think I'll go out and stand next to a burning oil well. That is, are you insurable at all? You go to a life insurance company and say, I'd like to be insured. I would like to see the agent sitting there making out that policy. What do you do, Mr. Adair?
Well, well, that insurance is awful high to get.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to cut off our workman comp in July. I don't know why.
They probably saw these pictures tonight. Really, it's been a great kick having you on the show.
Thank you.
You said you're off to Norway soon to...
I have to get back in. I go to Norway Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be over there, then I come back, and I got to go back to England. Then I'll come back. It seems like I'm following Carter, or he's following me. I haven't figured it out yet.
Fascinating working. You're a fascinating man. It's a pleasure to know you.
Well, thank you, John.
Wish you great luck. Thank you. Red, thank you. You find it's always true of gentlemen who engage in those kind of professions. The more hazardous the profession sometimes is, the more casual they are about it.
Almost shy.
It's just like us coming to work here.
Sure.
He just kind of plays it down. Well, we just capped it and put a little thing in there.
Yeah.
Not much.
Yeah. Me and Coop are out there.
Yeah.
Like Dub Taylor. He sounds like Dub Taylor a little.
Can you see you and me out there?
Capping.
If that
They don't have an arm that long.
If that if that fire just hit your breath, you could set off. You would set off a whole major ecological disaster. We'll be right back with Horse and Pete.